Hey there my peeps, it is now time for the Raw results / highlight and review video. I'll go over the results, highlights, and give you guys my thoughts on this show overall. So it all kicks off with John Cena coming out, cuts a promo on Ryback, takes a page out of Daniel Bryan's book, and does a bunch of yes, no's, yes this, yes that. Tries to make like a comedy segment or whatever. Anyways, eventually Vickie Guerrero comes out, and she goes on to talk about Extreme Rules and how it's a pay-per-view of extreme matches, like Dolph Ziggler is going to defend the title in a triple threat ladder match, and Brock Lesnar is going to face off against Triple H in a steel cage match, this and that, you know, the WWE Championship will be no different. It's also going to be in a special match type. It's going to be Extreme Rules. So what am I even saying? She says that she's gonna let John Cena and his challenger give their recommendations, pick the match they want to have. So she brings out Ryback. She gives the microphone to John Cena first, so John Cena gets to pick the match he would like to have with Ryback. Instead, he makes fun of Ryback, makes fun of Ryback's voice, says they should have a whining match, they should have a match where they run out of the arena or something like that. Making fun of Ryback last week and stuff. And he says he doesn't care what match type it is. So basically John Cena doesn't pick anything. He lets Ryback choose the match type. And Ryback says that was a big mistake. That was a stupid decision. And he decides that he wants to have a last man standing match. So that's it. Vickie makes it official, and the WWE Championship match will be held under last man standing rules. Kind of disappointed that it wasn't a tables match, because that was what I was predicting. But I like last man standing matches, so it's all good. Anyways, after that, Randy's in the ring for a matchup against Damien Sandow. Damien Sandow comes out and with a microphone, as always, or as most of the times, and he sings a song about Randy Orton, making fun of Randy to Randy Orton's theme song, or the beat of Randy Orton's theme song. They don't actually play the theme song in the background, but the way he sings it is as if it was part of Randy Orton's theme song. Anyways, the match goes on, and Randy Orton eventually wins with the RKO. After the win, he walks up the ramp, and the cameras are now like focused on the commentators, and I don't remember what they were going over, but at some point Michael Cole's like, oh, look up on the stage. But the cameras are still on the commentators, and then eventually the cameras are now on the stage, and Randy Orton's down and out, and Big Show's standing over him. And then they show a replay of what actually happened, since we didn't see it, and the cameras were focusing on the commentators. Actually, Big Show, as Randy Orton was about to go backstage, Big Show hit the knockout punch just before he got through that curtain. He actually didn't get through that curtain because Big Show knocked him out, and that was it. And then Jericho came out, and he announced that tonight, for Fandango's match, there's going to be a panel of judges who are going to rate Fandango's dancing and just Fandango in general in this matchup. So he said he couldn't bring anybody to judge this. He thought he'd bring people that know how to shake the booty. And then he brings out Tensai and Brodus Clay. They come out and take a seat along with Jericho. Fandango then comes out, does his entrance, and they rate his entrance, I believe. I think Jericho gave it like a 2, and Tensai gave it a 2 as well. Or actually, Jericho might have given it a 1 or something like that. I don't know, pretty low ratings basically. Then Fandango gets on a microphone and tells Jericho, "Who are you to judge me?" And Jericho gives him another 2. And then R-Truth comes out for the match against Fandango. A really quick match. And really, there was no winner. Well, actually, there was a winner, but it was by countout. Since R-Truth went for the scissors kick, he hit the scissors kick. As soon as he hits it, Fandango rolls out the ring, and he refuses to get back in, gets counted out, so R-Truth wins by countout. And then R-Truth tells the judges to check him out, and then he does like a short dance, and they rated a 10. They all rated a 10 actually, and Brodus Clay holds up the 4 and the 2, so he rates it 42. Afterwards, Josh Matthews is backstage with Daniel Bryan, interviewing him. He wants to ask him about, what happened on SmackDown when the Shield attacked him, what he thinks about that. Anyways, Daniel Bryan says, he wants to challenge Ryback to a rematch from SmackDown, and then Ryback comes up behind him and tells him that, for his sake, he's gonna say no to that because Daniel Bryan is not 100%. He says even if he was 100%, Ryback would destroy him once again, and that Daniel Bryan is half the man he is. And then Kane turns Ryback around, and he tells him, "What about me? Do you think I'm half the man you are?" And then Ryback says, you're not the monster you used to be, and that there's only one monster right now in the WWE, and that's Ryback, or actually he says Ryback rules. And then he leaves. But then they actually announced that the match will indeed take place. It's going to be Kane versus Daniel Bryan. And then Del Rio comes out for a one-on-one matchup against Dolph Ziggler. At some point during the matchup, Jack Swagger's music hits, and he comes out with Zeb Coulter. Del Rio won the matchup by disqualification when Big E grabbed Del Rio from the ring and took him to the outside, then threw him onto Jack Swagger, who was sitting on the commentary table, or next to the commentary table with Zeb Coulter. So, yeah, Del Rio wins by the disqualification. I think he had the cross arm breaker locked on, and I think that's when Big E took him and threw him onto the Jack Swagger. Jack Swagger then gets up, and he shoves Big E Langston onto the steel post, and then he grabs the ladder from under the ring. Ricardo gets on his back. Jack Swagger throws him off his back, grabs the ladder, hits Ricardo with the ladder. Actually, he doesn't necessarily hit Ricardo with the ladder. He kind of pushes Ricardo with the ladder onto the barricade. So he took out Big E Langston, Ricardo Rodriguez, and then he gets in the ring, puts that ladder inside the ring. And once he's in the ring, he hits Dolph Ziggler with the ladder as well. And then Del Rio also gets in the ring to try and stop Jack Swagger, I guess. But Jack Swagger also takes out Del Rio with the ladder. So Jack Swagger took out freaking everybody in that spot. He took out everybody apart from AJ. Took out Big E Langston, Ricardo Rodriguez, Dolph Ziggler, and Del Rio. So he looked pretty strong there. Although he did use the ladder, he still took out all those people on his own. Anyways, after that, backstage you see Caitlyn with Cameron and Naomi, and they're talking about a match against AJ and the Bell Twins, I believe. And then, Caitlyn brings up the secret admirer. Actually, Cameron brings him up, and she gets a text from him. Caitlyn gets a text from the secret admirer, and he's like, talking about The Simpsons or whatever, getting Caitlyn's love for The Simpsons by using one of the lines in The Simpsons that Ralph used. It's the choose you thingy line that Ralph used on Lisa in The Simpsons. Anyways, to keep this short, Great Khali and Natalya come up to Caitlyn. Natalya suggests that Khali go into the men's locker room and that he investigates, that he goes undercover and tries to figure out who Caitlyn's secret admirer is. And then, Khali says, so that means I'm a stooge or whatever. Anyways, he says shh, and then he leaves, I guess, to go and find out who that secret admirer is of Caitlyn. That was pretty much it for the segment. They all leave. And then, from behind the curtains, because there were some curtains behind them, the Bell Twins come out, and they're, laughing. You don't really know why. And then, after that, you had a match. It was The Shield. The Shield comes out for a matchup, a six-man tag team match against the Usos and Kofi Kingston. The Shield wins the match after Ambrose pins Kofi Kingston. His finisher was... It's pretty much the same move The Miz has as a signature move in WWE 13. Not the DDT, but the other signature move. After that, Antonio Cesaro faced off against Zack Ryder. Antonio Cesaro wins with the neutralizer. After he wins, he cuts a promo saying that there's nobody better than him in the WWE, nobody better than him on SmackDown, Raw, NXT, or Saturday Night Slam. He says nobody held a candle to Antonio Cesaro. We then see Paul Heyman via satellite, and he shows us the footage of Brock Lesnar and him going into WWE headquarters and them trashing Triple H's office. And they also had Brock Lesnar stare down or look at a Triple H, a Rock poster. It was the poster, the Royal Rumble poster with The Rock on it. And he looked at that for a while, maybe kind of teasing maybe Brock Lesnar versus The Rock. Anyways, he went to the office. He saw World Heavyweight Championship. He grabbed that, put it on his shoulder, sat down, put his legs and feet on the desk. And Paul Heyman's all like, you know, oh, you're never going to get a title shot at that as long as Triple H is making decisions. But anyways, he trashes the office and then leaves. And then Paul Heyman talks a bit more on satellite, but then Triple H's music interrupts him. Triple H comes out to the ring. Bottom line, he says he's got two offices. The one that they trashed, and the other one, which is this one right here, and by that he means the ring. And he says this one has a hell of a view. He looks at the fans. And then he says, if Brock Lesnar's a man, you know, he would do it when Triple H is there, and that's if he tries to do it in this office, well, in this office, they fight back. And that was pretty much it for the segment. And then came time for the 6 Divas tag team match. It was AJ and the Bell Twins versus Caitlyn and the Funkadactyls. Caitlyn and the Funkadactyls win when Caitlyn hits the spear on AJ. AJ tried to tag in the Bell Twins once Caitlyn got in, but they both got off the apron and left AJ on her own, and that's when she got speared, and Caitlyn won the matchup for her team. Afterwards, Mark Henry comes out talking about Sheamus, and he says Sheamus is going to come out in a few moments and, you know, act tough. And that's the problem about Sheamus. It's all an act. He acts tough. Mark Henry, he says he doesn't need to act tough because he is tough. Anyways, Sheamus then comes out. And actually, I think before Sheamus came out, Mark Henry said that he's challenging him to a match at Extreme Rules, I believe. And that it's been a while since he's gone Extreme, and then that's when Sheamus interrupted him. They went back and forth for a while, I think. And then they're about to fight, so Henry's like, you know, we don't need to wait for Extreme Rules, we can fight right now. So they're getting ready to fight, and then Wade Barrett's music hits, and Wade Barrett comes out because apparently he's got a scheduled match against Sheamus right now. So they have the match, Mark Henry gets out of the ring, goes on commentary. And as far as the match goes, at some point in the matchup, as usual, one of like, you know, when somebody's feuding with somebody, and one of those people is on a commentary table during a match with the other. I'm probably confusing you guys, but usually when there's a wrestler on the commentary table and he's feuding with one of the guys in that ring, one of the guys in that ring usually gets thrown at, you know, the guy on the commentary table. So they were outside at some point, Sheamus and Wade Barrett, and Sheamus pretended as if he was going to throw Wade Barrett onto Mark Henry, and Mark Henry kind of flinched and he fell off his chair because of that. So Sheamus laughs and then puts Wade Barrett back in the ring. Mark Henry then gets up and Sheamus hits him with a bro kick. The match goes on. Sheamus eventually hits the bro kick on Wade Barrett. Right when he gets the victory, right when he gets the 1, 2, 3, Mark Henry is in the ring, ready to attack Sheamus, and he does. He then gets Sheamus to the outside, hits the World's Strongest Slam on Sheamus. And how could I forget, before he hit the World's Strongest Slam, he hit Sheamus a bunch of times with a belt that he got off, you know, one of the medics that were checking on Mark Henry once he got bro kicked. So he hit him with the strap a couple times, like I said, and then he hit the World's Strongest Slam on the outside. And then it was time for the main event, Ryback versus Kane. They both got some offense in. I'd say Kane got some more offense in than Ryback. But in the end, Kane was on the top rope. I guess, you know, wanted to go for the flying chokeslam. Flying chokeslam. What am I talking about? I don't know. I feel like I'm messing up a lot today. But no, flying clothesline. But Ryback stopped Kane, and he grabbed Kane from the top turnbuckle into the shell shock position, hit the shell shock on Kane, and went for the cover, and won the matchup. Right when he wins the matchup, Shield's music hits, and, you know, Kane's down, so it's only Ryback in the ring. And then Daniel Bryan comes out running and gets in the ring, so it's Ryback and Daniel Bryan now, and Kane, but he's down, so he can't really help. And Ryback then gets out of the ring, leaves Daniel Bryan on his own, but then John Cena's music hits, which interrupts the Shield's music, and he comes running to the ring. So it's Daniel Bryan and Cena, and Ryback still outside, you know, close to the chairs, close to where usually Lillian Garcia or Justin Roberts sit. And the Shield, I think they surround the ring, but Ryback comes back with a steel chair, and he chases the Shield off, or chases Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose off the apron. Daniel Bryan hits a suicide dive from inside the ring to the outside onto Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins. And John Cena, I believe he got Roman Reigns up for the Attitude Adjustment, but Ryback hits John Cena with the steel chair in the gut, and then hit him once again in the back. And he then stood over John Cena as Raw closed, or the show ended. So what did I think about the show tonight? Rating, I would give it probably the same rating as last week, 6.5, maybe 7. I don't know, 6.5, 7, one of those two. Highlights for me, I did enjoy Sandow's I wouldn't say rap, no, Sandow's song in regards to Randy Orton. You know, I'm a big fan of Damien Sandow, and I enjoyed the song. And also, I enjoyed, I found it surprising when, not necessarily surprising, but yeah, kind of surprising, when Jack Swagger took out everybody. He took out freaking everybody. The faces, the heels. He took out Big E, like I said, Ricardo, Del Rio, Dolph Ziggler, on his own. Just because Big E Langston threw Del Rio on him. He just got up, pissed, and beat him up. And I thought that made for a cool moment for Jack Swagger. So anyways, this review is getting kind of long, so I hope you guys enjoy this video. And if you did, as always, you can feed me more likes. I'd really appreciate it. You can expect some more videos from me, as I said before. I'm trying to get back on that regular schedule, posting up videos on a regular basis, you know, more frequently. I also have a Let's Play plan, so I'm trying to get that up. I'm going to record that maybe tomorrow, maybe the day after, and I'll bring back the online matches and everything. So, with that said, I'm out, guys. See ya.